Dr. Nasir Sen is here, and the topic of today is War of Independence 1857 in India. When we use the word War of Independence, this is the viewpoint of the Indians and the Pakistani historians about this freedom fight. As far as concerned, the British writers, they did not accept, and they call it a mutiny or a revolt against the British East India Company and its rule in India. So this topic is very interesting to know and study because it has two different viewpoints. One viewpoint of the Indians and Pakistani historians is, if this war had been a success, there would have been entirely a different situation in India, and India would have been a very stronger and largest empire, and British could be expelled from India. On the contrary, the British believed that this war was a mutiny, was a rebellion that broke out in India, and if British didn't overcome this war of independence or mutiny or rebellion, then their rule would come to an end. Okay, these are two different type of viewpoints. We must go into it in detail later, but the important point to ponder is that this war certainly was not an outcome of greased cartridges and their use or refusal to use them. It had certain causes in the history of India, and it has a certain political, social, economic, religious, and military causes that led the Muslims and the Hindus to become unite against the Britishers, and then they launched the war. Although this war broke out from Meerut cantonment on 10th May 1857, and it continued for 1 year and 6 months and came to an end in 1858. But during this war, some important outcomes came forth. The most important is the war was fought within the territory of the central India. It started from Meerut and then it reached to Delhi, where King Bahadur Shah Zafar was requested to lead the war, and he accepted the invitation of the rebellions, and he started to lead them. Rest of northwestern India, Punjab, KPK, Sindh, they remained aloof from the war, and they supported the Britishers and the East India Company and their forces. So this unity between the Indians on the issue of the liberation of India actually became the reason for the failure of this war. Now, who participated in this war and who started it? In the beginning, the spy, they started mutiny. According to the British historians and official gazettes of the British East India Company, the sepoys who did not accept to use the grease cartridges, they actually appeared as the mutineers, and they started the war from Meerut cantonment. But when this war broke out, then the reason, political reasons, social, economic and cultural reasons, military reasons, they made them one. And then many princely states and their armies, they joined it. Many freedom fighters, they became the part of the war. So it would be interesting to inform the young generation about the names of the Rajas and the Ranis or prince and princesses who participated in this war. So first, the most important one was the common soldiers, was the sepoy, who were the soldiers of the British Royal Army, but they turned against the East India Company and they launched the war. So the forces from the Indian side who participated in the war, they were of Nana Sahib, Peshwa II, the Maratha forces, Rao Tula Ram, forces of Lal Pratap Singh, Jodhpur, Jagdeshpur, Gwalior, Jodhpur, Banda, Rajas and Nawabs, Zamindars, Thakurs, Chaudhries, they participated into it. General Bakht Khan, he was appointed as the commander of the army. Rai Ahmad Khan Kharal from Sumandri, Toba Tek Singh and Kamalia from Punjab, this current Punjab of Pakistan, he was a leading rebellion and hero of Pakistan in this war of independence. Begum Hazrat Mahal, and then Nawab Balkis Qadir, Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, princely state, she played very important role and she got martyrdom in this war. Takiya Topi, and then Umrao Singh Bhatti and Dhan Singh Gujar, Mangal Pandey, very important hero of the war, who actually refused to use the cartridges, and he was, opened firing upon the British officer. Later he was hanged, and actually that was the main reason to break out the mutiny in the Meerut Kent. And Tiket Umrao Singh, Sheikh Bhikhari, Sheikh Bhikhari, these were the important, Indians who were on the one hand, and they organized the forces in this war of independence. As far as concerned the British, Victoria Earl of Dalhousie, General Dalhousie, Lord Canning, Major General George Anson, Lieutenant General Sir Patrick Grant, Sir Colin Campbell, Major General Sir Hughes Rose, Major General Henry Havelock, Major General James Cottram, and onward, they participated from the British East India Company armies. So now these two armies were fighting against each other. And let's come to the causes of the War of Independence. When this War of Independence 1857 broke out, then Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was working in Bijnor, and Sir Syed Ahmad saved the lives of several British officers, their wives and kids, and even his house was attacked by the mob, but he came out and he gave them a lecture about the importance of the refugees, and then he saved their lives. And history also reveals that he was offered a Jagir but refused to accept it, and he actually requested the British East India Company to help him for the education. When this war came to an end, then Sir Syed Ahmad Khan published a very important document to analyze the causes of the War of Independence, and that is known as the Causes of the Revolt in India, entitled in Urdu as Asbab-e Bagawat-e-Hind, Risala Asbab-e Bagawat-e-Hind. In this Risala Asbab-e Bagawat-e-Hind, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and several other historians of England, of India, and either in Pakistan, they analyze the causes. So they say number one is the political reasons were very, very important. In 1852, the law of inheritance was passed. Under this law of inheritance, if any Indian converted from their native religion to another religion, then they would be given the share in the property of their parents. That was not given to them before this law. So it created a sense of insecurity, particularly among the Hindus and the Muslims, that the Christians Christian missionaries who were preaching Christianity in India, they might become a source of inspiration for them, and this law would be more inspiring for the people and converters. So this was, a matter of concern, and gravely Muslims and Hindus, worried about it, that this might become a reason for the assault on their religious beliefs. And then second political reason was the doctrine of lapse. The doctrine of lapse means if any princely state ruler had no male heir or real son, then his state would be liquidated and British East India Company would take over after the demise of the ruler. So Rani of Jhansi and then is Nagpur, Awadh, Satpara, these were the important states where the doctrine of lapse introduced by Lord Dalhousie in 1852 was seriously implemented. So the end of the rule of Awadh, the end of the rule of Satpara, these were the eye opener for the Indian princesses. So they became very worried about their future if they had no, Rani of Jhansi wanted to hand over wanted to announce his adopted son as a successor, but British refused to accept this, and they did not allow her to continue if she died. Then her son or their adopted son couldn't do this. So then Rani of Jhansi joined it. So it also became one of the major reasons for the alliance of the Indians, and they decided to make an alliance and to get rid of the British rule. So when this war of independence broke out, then these forces like Marathas, Hindus, Sikh, Muslims, and then zamindars, just like Ahmad Khan Karalit and others, they joined it. They joined it and they started war of independence, and they wanted to get freedom from the foreign rule. As far as concerns the economic reasons, the economic reasons have always been very important in the history of the nations. If nations are economically destroyed, if the nations are economically deprived of their economic rights, the result is they became poor or they perish. Now British, when occupied India, they came here as a trader, and within the passage of time, they set up their trade centers. They began from, Suratgarh, 400 kilometers away from, Calcutta or Kolkata, and then they moved to Madras to Bengal, Mumbai, and onward, and up to 1857, they almost had captured all parts of India. They captured Sindh and deceived them on the name of crossing river, and when they were defeated in Afghanistan, now they paid attention on Sindh, and the next day later they waited for the death of Ranjit Singh. When Ranjit Singh died, then they captured Punjab in 1849, almost they had captured it. In 1812 they had reached to Delhi, and King was on their mercy. So this war, political reasons were more important, economic reasons were very important, and as far as concerns the Church of India, Father Edmund, according to Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, sent a telegram to the employees of the East India Company that they should accept Christianity, because under the rule of the East India Company and establishment of railway tracks and telegram and introduction of the mail and post and many other, so he believed that India is coming closer and uniting. So if they accepted one religion, then that would be better for the unity of India. That was another important reason for Hindus and Muslims, who were the major Muslim major populations of India, and law of inheritance, doctrine of lapse. These were very important reasons. And in the last, the economic, according to Arcade Gill, who is a British writer, and he took the analysis, he presented the analysis of the Indian economy. He wrote in his book that the British deliberately destroyed the textile of India, they deliberately destroyed the factories of China clay in India, and then they had invented power looms, and Manchester had become the center of the textile. So they bought Indian raw material on a very cheap rates. They manufactured goods and brought it back to India for sale. So these were important reasons. Political reason that the princes and the princely states were under threat. The British kept on instigating them against each other. They fought against each other, and in the result, they supported one and they captured other. Then Indians also knew that gradually they started from Surat and reached to Delhi, and all India came under their sway. So then, culturally, they brought very rapid changes in India. Socially, they brought very rapid changes in India. They introduced English literature. They introduced English language as an official language. They also introduced the modern system of judiciary as that was practiced in Great Britain, magisterial system, and then they did not pay respect to the local Indians. So these were major important causes behind this scene of the War of Independence, and it was the story of almost 100 years that actually became a volcano, and it suddenly erupted in 1857. The immediate cause of the War of Independence became the use of the greased cartridges. Infidel rifles were introduced to the British soldiers and Indian spies in India, and the cartridges that were put into the rifle, they had to cut before inserting in the rifle. So a rumor broke out in the Indians in India that this grease is made up of the protein of pig, and the others believe that this is made up of cow. So cow is very sacred for Hindu. They refused to use it. Muslims, they thought that impure animal, according to Quran, they couldn't use it. So this became their spread unrest. When Mangal Pandey and some other soldiers, they refused to accept it, then the British punished them, and then that punishment actually started the rebellion. And this rebellion started from Meerut, then it spread to Bihar to central India, and India to onward Delhi. So this movement suddenly started. This War of Independence suddenly started. Bakht Khan and a group of other, some major commander, they reached in the court of Bahadur Shah Zafar II and invited him to become the leader, because they believed that if the emperor participated in the war, then it would be a great source of inspiration for Indians. So Bahadur Shah Zafar accepted it. And when he accepted it, then he appointed Bakht Khan as the commander-in-chief of this War of Independence. But on the other hand, Dalhousie, Canning, and many other British soldiers, in the beginning, though, they were in trouble, but soon they convinced the Punjabis, Sindhis, that actually when you were being conquered, they supported us, the central Bihar soldiers, they brought here, now they took them to them, and this war ultimately came to an end. They overcame on this mutiny. According to British, they called it mutiny. We call it War of Independence. This War of Independence came to an end. Now the next important discussion is what were the results or impacts of the War of Independence. In 1858, India Act was passed. Under this, the British East India Company was dissolved, and India became the Royal British India, a province of the British Empire. And the Viceroy of India was appointed, and the administration was taken over from East India Company, and it became directly British East India Company was dissolved, and the government of Great Britain became directly responsible for ruling India. And number two, when they took over and they finished the War of Independence. Now after that, and during the war and after the war particularly, the British decided to punish the Indians brutally and severely, because they wanted to establish a fear in the minds of the Indians that British are a superpower, and the British military might could crush anyone else who rebel against them. So 100 people were lined up. They were asked to follow on in front of the cannons, and one bomb, perished them. So in this war, where 8,000 Britishers were died, then more than 800,000 people they died in India. So it was a very, it was a very cruel sort of actions taken on the part of the Britishers. They punished Muslims severely, they punished Hindus severely, and the most important result of this war was that after some time, when British took over this, the Hindus proved themselves more wiser. They accepted the British rule. They remained successful to give them this impression that actually we were the subject of the Mughal Empire that had ended in 1857 completely. So Mughal army had dispersed. So now Hindus gave them the assurance to the British that we are loyal. And the British actually also considered Muslims responsible for starting this war of independence. They staunchly believed that Muslims were the rulers. They were deprived of their rights, and their ruling, their ruling class was getting deprived of. So they gave them more severe punishments, and they declared them totally disloyal. This was the reason that Sir Syed wrote the causes of the revolt of India, and he gave them this, he printed 509 copies, sent it there to the British parliamentarians and Governor General, Viceroy, and we kept one for a record with him. Was this war a success or failure? This war was a failure. Its reason is that this was started without any planning. Number two, this war needed financial resources. The mutineers, according to British, or the revolutionaries, according to subcontinent historians, didn't have the financial resources. The Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar, though he decided to lead, but he was not in a position. He was old. His army was not in a position to fight, and that was almost had dispersed. So those Ranis and Rajas and other people who were fighting, they were not superior in science and technology, and the British had a very superior scientific technology and the weaponry, so they overcame on it. As far as concerns, was it a mutiny or was it a revolt? Indians, historians, Pakistani historians believe that it was a revolt against the British Empire. If it continued, then ultimately it spread in all parts of India, and then the British rule would come to an end. But British did not give them the chance to spread. So British successfully maneuvered the Punjabis and Pashtuns and also the northeastern Indians to fight against the central Indians, where the War of Independence was fought. So with the help of this unity amongst the Indians, they overcame the War of Independence. But this is the stance of the subcontinent and Indian and Pakistani historians. They believe that it was a war of independence, but British successfully managed it and they finished it. So far as concerned, the Britishers, they called it mutiny. They called it rebellion that was launched by some, sepoys, and that it spread without any leadership, and later leadership emerged among them, and they tried to lead it and defeat us, but they could not defeat, and the mutineers were defeated and punished very severely. Now the last part is, what is the importance of War of Independence? The importance of War of Independence is it united the Hindus and the Muslims and other communities of India, because at that time they did not think themselves or separate nations. They believed that they were one, so they became one, and they fought against the foreigners and their occupation. So the most important result of in the significance of the war is it united the Indians. And second importance of this is that the British policy of divide and rule remained successful, and they defeated the united forces of India, and they created disunity among them, and for next almost 90 years now they ruled India after this war of independence using their policy of divide and rule. And still in India and Pakistan, our political fabric and our political junta, they used it, and they keep on using still to divide the people in India and Pakistan and to rule these two states. So war of independence is very important in the Indian history. It was the effort to liberate India from the foreign occupation, but it couldn't be successful. It failed because it had no planning, it had no financial resources. It was suddenly started, and then there was lack of unity amongst the Indians, lack of modern and superior weapons, lack of leadership. So these were the major causes that led it to failure. And significantly, this war created awareness about the freedom of India. So after 1857 to 1947, there started several movements that ultimately culminated on the liberation of India and division of India and creation of India and Pakistan. Important questions for this lesson is number one, what were the main causes of the war of independence? So main causes for the war of independence: political, social, and then religious and economic. And what were the immediate event of the war of independence? In this question you need to answer the events that started from Meerut and until 1858, how Nana Sahib II of Marathas, Rani of Jhansi, and many other, Rajas, princesses, and local people, they fought. And how did Bahadur Shah Zafar and his son was, his four sons were beheaded by Colonel Hudson, and he presented the heads in a tray, and King and her wife was exiled to Myanmar, and in Yangon they were buried, and rule of came to an end. So these are the important events. Another important question is, why did it fail? So already I have enumerated its reason, and then what was its importance that we have discussed. So four important questions: causes of war of independence, explain; describe the events of the war of independence; was it a successful failure, discuss; and then was it a revolt or mutiny? Do you agree or disagree? So here you need to answer, was it a mutiny and was it a revolt? And then in the last you need to explain, do you agree or disagree with certain point. I hope it would become very helpful for you. Kindly subscribe this educational channel, Dr. Nasir Hussain, to receive the recent videos about the history of Pakistan and also about environment of Pakistan for IGCSE, GCO level. And then I would keep on uploading the lessons on education and research. So I believe you will like this channel and you will subscribe it.